Gotcha mechanics are bad in D&D. End of video, I guess. Now, this video, like so many, was inspired by a thread on Reddit that I saw. It was asking for advice on how to phrase a wish so that it would not backfire. This is a problem in 5th edition. It was a problem in 3rd as well. There was no wish spell in 4th. But more to the point, it's kind of a symptom of a deeper problem rather than just a single problematic spell. So in this situation, the party wished to be immune to poison because they were going to go up against a green dragon, and the Merid that was going to grant their wish decided, kill. Just kill somebody. You're immune to poison when you're dead, which is not actually, like, even very strictly interpreting the wish, that's not true. You're not immune. There's no immunity. Like, you can't say you're immune to poison just because poison doesn't hurt you. You're not you anymore. There's all kinds of like legalese shenanigans you could pull to try to point out why that solution doesn't actually work. But that's beside the point. The idea that there is a spell or an effect that is going to be twisted against you doesn't really work in the context of D&D. Can it work in other games? Probably, depending on the context and the tone of the setting that you are in. Could potentially work. You really need to telegraph it. You need to let the players know this is a thing that's going to happen. You can make this wish. It's not going to go the way you want it to. Or don't offer the wish at all. That's probably the better play, to be honest. Like, why would you as a DM offer the players a wish and then not give them what they obviously want? And the fact that you go straight to kill the player instead of, or kill the character, not kill the player. That would be a bit extreme, wouldn't it? The fact you go straight to kill the character rather than to have this, like, okay, that is outside the bounds of what you can get away with on a wish spell normally. So the Merid would have freedom to interpret that in other ways. So bad DMing to not communicate with the players about expectations and what is reasonable for this particular boon. Bad on the DM, but also bad on the game, because the wish spell does specifically call out this kind of behavior as acceptable. Bad on Wizards of the Coast for doing that, because that is never going to be I don't want to say never such an absolute phrase. Like, it's almost always a bad thing to do. Twisting and corrupting wishes, particularly, like, it's like there's immunity to poison. There's so many other ways you could go with that. So many easier ways than just outright killing a character. You say, all right, immunity to poison for 24 hours. Get to that dragon fast. That would be a fully acceptable use of wish, and that's well within the confines, or well within the parameters of, like, the power of an 8th level spell, which wish is supposed to be able to more or less emulate. 24 hours, immunity to poison, that's an 8th level spell, sure. You could just do that, but nope, the DM wanted to be a jerk about it. Because the game says, oh, well, if you wish for something too big, you might get transported to a demi-plane or transported forward in time until the guy you wanted dead is dead, and then you're functionally removed from the campaign. Make a new character. Like, what the hell? What kind of advice is that? And that's printed in the book. That's in the spell description. And it's never a good idea. It's never a good idea. My advice for those of you who are running games where wish might come up, either very high-level games, or if you are foolish enough to give the players access to wish outside of that, I don't think it's a good idea to do. My advice is just make it emulate a spell. Do the specific examples that are in the wish spell. It can do those, and it just can't do anything else. I think limiting the spell to the, like, it's already, like, even just that, it makes it the single most versatile spell in the entire game. It does not need to be able to do literally anything, because it can't, or it shouldn't. You can't just wish somebody dead. The spell specifically says that that won't work the way you want it to. So, and like getting bogged down into like a whole huge legal contract where you draft up a 5-page statement about what you want and say, I wish this was true. Like, that's way too much work. It's not particular, like, it makes for an the interesting amount of that story, the amount of interest in that is like just this boop, tiny little bump right there compared to the amount of work that goes into it. You should just be playing the game instead. The fact that the game calls out this kind of shenaniganry that the DM, and it actively encourages the DM to screw over the players in ways that they obviously didn't intend. It just shouldn't be able to do things outside of its given parameters. That's the easier and far better solution. So Wish is a badly written spell and it shouldn't be in any game. Like, if I were to run a 5th edition campaign, God forbid, I would, among other things, look at banning a certain number of spells. Wish would be at the top of the list. It's just an instant auto ban. We're not dealing with that. We're not having Wish. Wish is a badly done spell and shouldn't exist. But more to the point, DMs should not be looking for ways to screw over their players. It's not fun for the players. And if you are having fun doing that as a DM, you might be a bad DM. So, think about that. You should be looking for ways to make the players feel good about the game, and being screwed over by a extremely loose interpretation of a spell whose parameters are very fuzzily defined just isn't the indication that you are there to facilitate the fun of the other people at this table. You are ostensibly friends playing a game together. Why would you betray? It's a betrayal of trust is what it is. Like, at that point, the players know, oh, okay, he's going to screw us over at every possibility, so we're just never going to use Wish again. And you have now ruined potential story possibilities if you were going to use Wish, which I don't recommend you do. The next time they get offered a Wish, Genie's like, oh, hey, thanks for saving me. I'll give you guys a Wish. Like, nah, we're good. Last time the dude killed us, so we're not doing that anymore. And it's not great for the narrative. If you're offered a Wish, you're supposed to take it. Like, that's the narratively satisfying thing to do. If a deity finds you worthy, they're gonna be like, what do you wish, little mortal? Blah. I will grant you one desire. And you're like, nah. That's a trap. Like, no, I am not the god of trickery. I'm the god of what the fuck ever, wishes. I'm the god of doing wishes exactly the way you want. It's a very specific domain, but that's mine. And you're like, nah. You're still run by the DM, and the DM has proven himself to be kind of a asshole about this. So we're not going to do it. That's, for if you think about it, it encourages metagame thinking, because the players should always have that in the back of their mind, that like the DM is probably not going to interpret this the way that we want it to. Or, this being the very most generous interpretation, there should be indications that is going to happen, because it could be an in-character decision. The DM may have been looking at it as this Merid is a jerk. He does not actually, like, because here's the thing. The Merid offered this boon. Like, he wasn't forced to do so. It was like, thank you for freeing me from this bottle. I will grant you a wish. It was volunteered. If the party was like, we have captured you, you have to grant us a wish, then I could see, yeah, you're going to get what's coming to you there. Don't coerce wishes out of people. That's not going to go the way you want ever. But this was offered freely and then twisted against them. Why? There's no reason to do this. The DM should have telegraphed the fact that the merit is going to twist their wishes, which, like, why? Why would you have someone who's going to twist your wish? Volunteer to do so. If you don't like the player characters, this marriage should have just left. He said, thanks for freeing me. Peace out. Gone. Anyways, that specific Reddit thread aside, don't corrupt wishes. If they ask for something that's outside the bounds of what can be reasonably granted, then just say that's outside the bounds of what can be reasonably granted and let them try again, you know? So anyways, that's my thing. Wish is a badly written spell, shouldn't exist, but if you're going to do those kinds of mechanics, work with the players, communicate with the players about what it is that they want, what they expect from this mechanic. And that way everyone can have a much better time.